So tell me well, we're at Helix, but it's fine. But it's a great school. You're a sophomore here. Tell me what you like about school.
I definitely put a lot of pressure on myself in school as a kind of perfectionistic attitude. But I feel like I really enjoy the actual learning part of school.
Okay.
I get sometimes very socially anxious, but I really enjoy learning, and I'm taking a lot of really hard classes.
Favorite class?
Favorite class right now is actually pre-calculus, honors pre-calculus.
Okay.
And then
Hold on. Like, we're not going to speed by. Honors pre-cal is a sophomore. There's no
and
like
then AP calculus next year, and then math 281, which is a junior year, college junior year math class.
Do you like math?
I really like it. It's definitely, I feel like it's most enjoyable when you understand it.
Right.
So sometimes I'll be like, I hate this class. And other times I'll be like, I love this class.
It's right, because I know what's happening.
Very hot and cold for
I
me.
know what's going on.
Yeah.
You talked about social anxiety.
Yeah.
How have you managed it?
I've definitely grown a lot as a person in the past couple of years. And it's made me understand myself better. And when I understand myself, I can understand other people better. I feel like it always starts with you.
Yeah.
But I've managed my social anxiety by leaning on my support system.
Okay.
And like my therapist, my family, my friends, just knowing that there are people there that care for me, and here as well, which is really important. Like the wellness center's been a big help for me. Having people, adults at school that I know care about me and want me to do well is really impacted me in a positive way.
You said that you have learned a lot about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So since being in high school, you're a sophomore, so almost done with your sophomore year. What's one thing you've learned about yourself that stands out?
I would say, like, no one's really paying that close of attention.
Girl, no one's paying that close attention.
Nobody cares that much.
So true.
Like, something will happen, like, oh my God, these kids did some crazy things behind the bathrooms. That blows over in 2 days. You think me wearing a funky outfit's anybody's gonna care?
No one cares.
Nobody's gonna care.
I love that. How has that impacted you in, I don't know, just your state of being as a 16-year-old girl?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely helped me be able to be me more authentically.
Yeah.
Which is really important to me. Like having people know who I actually am and not pretending to be somebody else. Because I feel like for a while I was like, I was wearing a lot of different faces. Like for my family, I'd be one thing. For my classmates, I'd be another thing. For my teammates, I'd be another thing. And it just gets exhausting. Like
100%.
it's like theater constantly. And it's like, I just want to be me.
I love that you've learned that so young, because there are grown adults who struggle with that.
Yeah.
Okay, you're 16.
Yeah.
In 20 years, you'll be 36.
He'll be 30 at heart.
Right, exactly. What do you think your world will look like 20 years from now?
20 years from now, one of my dreams is to travel. So I really want to travel. I want to go on a worldwide surf trip. So I want to do that after I'm done with college and sports and things, and kind of just have some obviously not a bunch of time, but some time on my hands to be
Why
able,
not? Don't
to be
limit
able
yourself. Have
to
all
be
the
able
time.
to do that. I think that'd be really fun. So hopefully by 20 years I will have done that, or maybe doing that. And then I would say I want to be a psychologist when I grow up.
Yeah.
So I want to go into that kind of field. I'm not sure exactly where, but I definitely want to do something to give back to the kids that were like me when I was younger.
Yeah. What do you think will be important to you?
20 years from now, I mean, my brother's my best friend. So I would say definitely still being around my family, at least wherever I am, wherever they are, at least a couple times a year, being able to spend holidays and things. I would say sports are always going to be important to me. I want to maybe doing something with psychology through sports, which would be really cool.
Psychology.
Sports psychology.
Could you see yourself coaching?
I mean, yeah, for fun, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'd coach, like, for my main job. I feel like, well, I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
20 years is a
leave
long
leave
time
the leave
now.
the door open, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I say that to say because for some reason, girls who play sports don't immediately think of coaching as being a career path. The coaches, I'm a coach too. I
Yeah.
coached for, I don't know, a long time, and I fell into it on accident. And then when you get into it, you realize how much we need female coaches
Yeah.
coaching young girls. And so just using this opportunity not to close that door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd
'Cause
be cool.
It could be a one avenue.
Yeah, exactly.
You've spoken to this kind of throughout this conversation, but how would you describe self-love? And I think from your vantage point, I'm really eager to hear how you would describe it.
I would say self-love is like feeling comfortable with yourself. So being someone who is authentically you and not having to change yourself for other people, I think is the greatest form of self-love, is just like knowing and being confident in who you are. And especially as like a young woman, it's hard to be confident sometimes because we have to like be kind of quieter and not like boastful or like I feel like in football especially, like boys are very like they got their egos and they're like
100%.
flipping their ball and doing all their dances, and it's like I feel like even when me and my friends do it at flag, it's like kind of looked down upon more.
Right.
And it's like, well, why can't I be confident in who I am as well and like be proud of myself for who I am and who I've like become to be, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Great description of self-love. How do you remember, you talked about girls not really being able to use their voice. Do you remember the A time, maybe not the first time, but a time that stands out where you feel like you really had to use your voice?
I would say like finding my voice again
Yeah.
after the eating disorder, like being able to find and separate myself and my eating disorder was really big for me, and finding like who I truly am versus who I was with my eating disorder. So that was when I had to really find my voice again, find who I was at that time.
I'm going to go off on a whim here.
Okay.
You graduate in 2 years.
Yep.
2.5. You seem very confident in who you are right now, in your voice right now. What do you think could get in your way when you maybe go off to college, maybe graduate from college? What do you think is something that could happen? Maybe not specifically, but what do you think is something that could get in your way or stop you from having the confidence you have now, or being maybe afraid to use your voice?
I mean, I'm nervous for going off to college and having a life outside of like the safety of my family.
Okay.
Because I'm worried that the eating disorder will come back because it's never gonna fully like go away.
Right.
But I can like contain it. I can learn from it, like all those things. But just I guess like my fear of losing my voice again is through the eating disorder.
So if you could imagine what that would feel like, being afraid to use your voice, what would that version of you say to little girl Kaya, to 11-year-old Kaya, to help her through
Like
that?
to help me through losing my voice.
Right. Like what would you tell her, right? So
Yeah.
picture yourself maybe in 3 years when you're off at college, and like how you just described, maybe I'm a little afraid because I'm away from my support system, maybe a little further away.
Yeah.
And I may have to, I don't know, figure it out on my own, right? Maybe in a similar spot you were when you were younger.
And kind of finding my inner child
Yeah,
to help me through that. Got you. Okay, I followed.
Exactly.
I followed.
So how would you talk to your inner child?
I would just try and like, cause I feel like we all have an inner child inside of us. Like obviously all of us want to be loved, we want to be heard, we want to be seen. So just finding those people that bring out my inner child and finding those people that want to support me to further understand myself and that child in me, because
That's good.
it's important to nurture ourselves in not only like food, which obviously I have to do,
Yeah.
but in like our mental health, our physical health, our like emotional health, like understanding that we need people around us who want us to succeed and want us to feel safe and loved and like nurtured. So being able to use my inner child to find those people.
That's really good advice.
Yeah.
Because what I hear you saying is you can't do it alone.
No, you can't. I mean, life isn't meant to be lived alone.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
When we first talked on the phone and we talked about you, he said we loved her back to life.
Yeah.
right? And I think that that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
You get around the people. If you feel yourself losing it, you don't have to do it alone. You get around the people.
And that was
Who can
my
love you back
biggest
to
like
life.
learning point, is that I can ask for help.
Mm.
And like when I'm not okay, like for example, last night I was having a little bit of a hard time because my best friend just tore her ACL.
Oh, that's
and
tough.
so she's having a really rough time. So I called my mom and I was upset, and I called her up into my room and she was like, "Thank you for asking for help.
So good.
Like, thank you for knowing that you need somebody to support you." And I feel like that was a really big thing for me in understanding myself, is knowing when to ask for help and that it's okay.
Love it. Thank you for taking the time to share your journey, your insights, your wisdom. Even at 16 years old, you have so much to give the world. And I hope that even in the moments where you feel, because you'll feel, you know,
Yeah,
on
everyone
your
has their
heels
ups
a
and
little
downs,
bit
yeah.
sometimes, you know, that you continue to remember what you said right now. One, you can always go to your family. You never have to go through it alone. But I also hope that you can look back at these videos and see yourself talking to you, that you already have everything you need.
Yeah.
You know, you have
Yes.
everything you need to have. Continue being curious in the world, but what you've shared with the world today has helped me,
Yeah.
if nobody else.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you for this opportunity.
Of course.
Yes.